Welcome back to the next episode of Dorset Wine Festival documentary at Walton Accountancy. So we're here in Portsmouth to meet our friends at Walton, but before we go in, we have a little gift from them from our previous episode at English Oak Vineyard. Pretty confident they're gonna like this. Early Christmas!
Hey.
Afternoon!
How are you? Okay?
Living the dream! Ciao!
How are you doing?
How's it going?
Yeah, good, you?
Very, very well. I got a little present for you. I know we're here to discuss business, but maybe we can have a glass of tonight.
Yeah, sounds good.
There you go. So, we are here in Portsmouth with our friends Ben and Tom. Tom looks slightly more tan than me, which is a little bit annoying because he just came back from holiday. I'll let you off for now. Guys, take it away. What are we? What are we doing?
So I'm Ben, Ben Walton.
Yeah, I'm
This is
Tom Boring.
And we're going to give you a little tour of the office.
Lovely. Follow us around.
The staff room. This is where Tom will spend most of his time.
We got nice new dartboard set up, ready when we first moved in, with a custom background.
Correct me if I'm wrong. This is your new office, right?
It is, yeah.
How long have you been here for?
So the start of April, start of May.
Yeah, about 2 or 3 months we've been in now.
So this wasn't like this before. You guys refurbished it?
That's it. So it's an optician's with loads of little like cloakrooms and then little cupboards. So we sort of opened it up and made a nice sort of
That's nice.
semi-open plan office.
Let's show the other room. Show it.
Nice. So this is where Ben doesn't work, so this is where the magic, this is where the magic happens. Yeah.
So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But how many desks and chairs in total?
16 total workstations.
Yeah.
14 staff, so ready for our next 2.
We have all of the staff working down here. What are we talking in terms of staff? Are we certified accountants?
So
Do we look for specific people?
So we have 4 qualified accountants. We have 4 trainees, or now 5.
2, 3, 4, 5 now, isn't it?
Five.
6.
6 trainees. But we hire a lot of apprentices to try and teach them our good and bad habits, and then there's always a job available at the end of the apprenticeship. So a lot of companies will sort of cheap labour, and then on their way, we don't. We grow them and progress them through to a full-time job with us afterwards. So we have 5 apprentices at the moment, don't we? And then 4 qualified full-time accountants.
Amazing.
Sounds good. And what's in there in the right-hand side corner? I think that there's a quite nice room that I see with your logo on.
Yeah, welcome to the boardroom.
Oh, this is lovely, really.
Nice.
And they got the glasses out
Yeah.
as well. I guess we might want to try a bottle of these bad boys from English Oak then, shall we?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
sounds good.
Sounds good to me. I mean, it's wine o'clock somewhere in the world anyway, so let's get it going.
Cool.
Right, so we have this little gift from our friends at English Oak down in Poole. Happy with this?
Yeah, it looks good.
Absolutely.
Not bad for a kiss, is it? Yeah, why not? Here we go now, so I wanted to splash it in, but hopefully you're not going to charge me for damages and stuff like that. So there we go. So this, for you,
Okay.
is an English sparkling wine. An English sparkling wine culture and the whole movement is a very much growing and booming movement. And English Oak is the perfect example of this because they have just been nominated in the top 10 of the most beautiful vineyards in Europe, if I am correct, which is a big, big statement.
for you, look.
Oh, okay. Salute. Great to be here. In the eyes. In the eyes. And you turn the...
I knew you went straight for the drink then.
And let's have a taste, show it. Oh my God, this is beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it's nice.
And this is a blend of Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, and Pinot Meunier.
Wow, that's very nice.
Works an absolute treat.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
So, Walton Accountancy. Who are you?
Okay, yeah. So it started off as my dad started it 26 years ago, working from home, sort of a small self-employed business. Started originally as, going right back to the start. He had his own courier business, tried a few other little businesses, had his own accountant, and found out that there was no support, no advice from them. They wanted upfront fees. He would call them and they wouldn't answer, or they'd get back to him and then charge him for an hour on the phone. So he trained to be an accountant to learn his own books and his own finances. Got quite good at it, and then decided actually there's a bit of a gap in the market here to give upfront support to clients, sort of specialising in the new company startups, new to self-employment, people that have all the questions but don't have the money to spend on an accountant.
Yeah, and it's that transparent, just transparent fees, isn't it? And just making sure that.
And this is quite important because it's not something that everybody does. You guys got a set fee, no matter to a certain extent, I guess, the amount of work is a flat rate fee.
Exactly that. So we put it on our website, which is so unusual. There's not many accountants or solicitors.
What's the website for the people watching?
That put it on the website. So www.waltonaccountancy.co.uk.
For the people that know that are watching this, you are the official accountants of Dorset Wine Festival, but also the accountants for Wonderful, which is my wine business. That is kind of like a sister company to Dorset Wine Festival, I guess. And for me, it was always a struggle to talk to accountants or to go down the route of, oh God, I need an accountant, but I don't want to spend a fortune. Also, I don't understand what I need. And immediately with you guys, there was the sense of, we're not here to rip you off. We're doing a flat fee. We're going to walk you through the journey of what you need to do, how you need to do, and why you need to do, which for me was life-changing, because everybody was just like, we're going to do your accounts, we're going to charge you this. That's all you need to know. And I was like, nah, I don't feel comfortable with that. And with you guys, obviously you dealing with me quite a lot. I mean, because I got a lot of questions, obviously. I like to know what's happening in my own business. And he was always like, yes, this is why you do it. This is what you take out by doing it this way. And this is the consequences. This is the benefits of doing it. And I think that's so powerful. It's such a good thing that you guys got going. But question is, was it always like that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what the business was started for, wasn't it? So when Dave started, like Ben said, all them 25 years ago, 26 years ago, it was the ethos he had was supporting businesses. The gap in the market was that there was no one out there being able to provide the support up front and actually being able to provide support to businesses. And it's something that he's given to us, especially over the last 15 years for you and 8 years for me, is that you need to support these businesses, and our place in their business is helping them grow and thrive, isn't it? Because we wouldn't be here if they weren't growing and thriving.
Yeah, and do you know what? Still to this day, we have never done a piece of work and said, by the way, you owe us this for the work. We will always try to understand the scope of work, what it is that you need doing, give you a price for that, and if you're happy for it, we go ahead and we do it. But not once have we ever gone, by the way, we did this, you owe us some money, which was the huge pain point that my dad had, that at the end of the year he got his tax bill and then an accountancy fees for 4 or 5 grand.
Excellent.
And he's going through, hang on, what did I call on this day? Did I call on that day? You charged me for an email. In 26 years, we've never invoiced.
And that was also a fear that I had going into this, oh my God, I need to have an accountant and sort of thing. Because everybody was like, yeah, we're going to charge you this, but then if we need to do this, we charge this. And now I'm like, can't you not do it in the first place without doing it extra? And honestly, the ease of talking to you guys, that's what struck me right away. Because I always thought, it's going to be a pain to ask a question. It's going to be a pain to do something, change something. Where he's always been on the other end of the phone, apart from last week. It's the
nice tan.
Yeah, it's the nice tan. And again, he wasn't there, and then there was already somebody to replace him and answer my questions right away.
Not
it was
replace.
Not replaced.
Not replace.
temporary replacement, and it was a seamless transition. You know, it was so easy.
Yeah, so we pride ourselves on having sort of the information at your fingertips. So if anyone calls our office, within 3 to 4 rings, you will always get an answer every single time. You don't go to a switchboard, you don't go to a queue. We make sure that our reception area is well staffed so that as soon as you pick up the phone, because you want an answer right there and then. You're not waiting for an accountant to get back to you in 24 hours. So
Especially with the short patience.
So we overstaff to make sure that you get support as soon as you call up. And of course, if Tom isn't available, who knows your account inside out, you can speak to somebody else, or he'll give you a call back straight away. Which is also very rare in the industry, isn't it? A lot of accountants.
Cheers to that.
A lot of accountants don't get back to you.
Lovely. Another thing I wanted to talk to you about, which for me is super fascinating, is the story about we moved here. We were like, yeah, we're gonna do this. It was, I guess, you and your dad to begin with.
It was, yeah.
Then this lovely chap comes on board, and from the beginning, if I remember right, it was from the garden shed.
Yeah, so we went originally from the garden shed to the upstairs spare bedroom.
It's already an upgrade.
In a family home.
I don't know how bad the shed was.
Yeah, it was a bad shed. It was falling apart, no windows.
Working from one computer.
Yeah, it was.
A shed computer.
So me and my dad were sharing one computer and jumping on emails and taking it in turns to sit on the computer.
How many fights in there?
Yeah, no. you don't want to fight him.
Then obviously to the bedroom.
Yeah.
Then he comes on board.
Yeah, so not quite in the bedroom yet. So we moved down.
I was going to say,
that
sounded a little bit dodgy. I was like, did he came into the? What was the scenario? No, what happened?
So we moved into a unit which was at the time just me and my dad, and I think we even got my mum to come in and do some bookkeeping. Let's say just probably to try and fill the office.
Proper family business.
Yeah, that's at the heart of the business. So I still refer to it as a family business. Obviously, got my last name on the company, but. My dad sort of works as a consultant to the business, so he comes in and we sort of strategize some ideas, and it's still at the heart of it a very family business. And then Tom was our first employee, who is now a shareholder and director of the company and fully qualified accountant. But yeah, started off straight out of college from school?
Yeah, 17.
Yeah.
And for you too, was it like a career that you would have chosen? Or is something that you kind of fell into and then fell in love with it and you now embraced it and it's part of you kind of in a way?
Yeah,
what was it for you?
Yeah, well, I remember because it was the summer of 17 and I was just finishing college, finishing my A-levels, and I thought, well, I'm not a blue-collar worker whatsoever. I need an office job. I need a desk. Sit behind a desk. I'm happy with that. And so I was looking around and I wanted to do something with finances and figures. So I thought, right, I'll apply for accountancy roles or like insurance and stuff like that. And a lot of them were in Southampton or Guildford. And just on the off chance, there was one that popped up in Horndean. I was like, that'd be amazing. If I can get that, that'd be brilliant. And it was the only apprenticeship I applied for that year. And obviously turned up to the interview.
Oh, the only one you applied for?
Yeah, because I was quite happy just to work like full time, earn some money, and then go into it. But it was the only one I applied for just because it was local. And obviously, by chance, got it. But yeah, no, I don't think anyone ever has woken up and said, my dream is to become an accountant. But like you say, you sit there and we're in it now, we're very deep in it, and it's amazing. I couldn't think of anything else to be honest.
Yeah, strange, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was a behaviour support worker before becoming an accountant.
Oh, so something completely different.
Yeah, so from 16 so I actually transitioned slowly into accountancy. So I didn't do straight full time. It was was like 1 day working in the shed and 4 days in the school.
Shed.
Yeah.
Do we have pictures that we can make overlay into that?
Yeah, it literally is an old little shed, isn't it?
I mean, the creaky that goes no windows.
You sat there with an umbrella next to the window. And they come through the rain.
I wonder if we've got some pictures of it actually. We might have some.
Please.
The shed has been.
Otherwise, I'll make something up. I'm telling you now. If you don't find, I'll make something up.
Knocked it down, but yeah. So I'll see if I can find some pictures. Yeah. But yeah, so I'm doing transitioning slowly from behaviour support worker, which I love that role. I loved working with challenging children, and there's a lot of fun. to then working in accounting. I do remember for the first year or two thinking, oh crikey, I don't know if I've made the right decision here, because it was I was on my toes all the time working with people in a school, to suddenly just me and my dad sat in
different ones, isn't it?
Yeah, sharing a computer. But it's the rest is history. It's gone pretty crazy recently, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that, because obviously people think accountancy firm, they're just going to be boring, doing their own thing. These are the people sat at the desk in the dark, little light, like the green lamp, turning around, putting numbers, like writing numbers down. With you, it doesn't feel like that. Like coming in, it feels like I don't see like a pile of papers around, for example. It doesn't feel like allow me the word, a normal accountancy firm.
Accountant, yeah.
Yeah, typical is the word. Feels like a younger version of that, or maybe like a futuristic, if you want, like digital version of it. And is that simplifying your life?
Absolutely, yeah.
And your clients probably as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think we've embraced the digital side, haven't we, to try and I would say we've moved, certainly in the last 3 years, we've moved into a more advisory role, advisory service.
As in you two moved?
I would say the whole company. So the reason that a lot of accountants are sort of dark and dingy and writing on bits of paper is they're doing a lot of compliance work. They're doing all the paperwork, converting receipts into numbers, and then converting that to HMRC. But we've embraced the digital side with Xero and QuickBooks. So a lot of the compliance stuff is digitalized, which allows us to focus on building the relationship with clients, advising them on how they can grow their business, save tax. So that's why we're pretty paperless in the office and spend a lot of time doing things like this and meeting clients.
By the way, you've seen an empty office because obviously we came at the end of the work day. Just everybody's clear. This is not a normal day.
It's just us two drinking wine.
It's not 9 in the morning. It's now 6:45, just so everybody feels safe.
And interestingly, actually, our growth over the last 10 years has been all from referrals and recommendations. So this is quite outside the box for us, because we don't do marketing so far. We don't do big Google AdWord campaigns or anything. It's all
not much LinkedIn.
It's all been organic. Yeah. It's all organic, isn't it? So friends, family, recommendations,
which is the best
referrals,
possible way, isn't it?
And the snowball just keeps going and getting bigger. So this is quite nicely out of our comfort zone, isn't it? Something a bit different that we've never done before.
And let's talk about comfort zone, because I find, again, for me, coming into the world of bookkeeping, VAT returns, and the beer account, all that was very much out of my comfort zone. But again, with you, it was pretty straightforward. You got to do this because of that, so you're gonna get that. Simple. You took that edge off, which for me was the most important thing, because I'm pretty good. If you tell me to do that, I'm gonna do it. I know why. I know the benefits of it. Job done. Is there an element with your other clients when they come in with that sort of initial fear? Oh, can I afford an accountant? Should I put money aside for an accountant? Do I really need an accountant? I mean, obviously we spoke about this, the money that I can save and it's coming back to me by doing the bookkeeping right and VAT returns and all of that. Do many people have the same issue? Do you find this a common scenario? As maybe a lunatic?
Yeah, no, definitely, 100%. I think one of the biggest questions is, why do I need an accountant? Yeah. I think a lot of people can feel like, I can do it myself, I can file things online, which, to be perfectly honest, is actually right. You can go online, you can do it yourself. I think the value of an accountant comes in when you think, well, in 12 months' time or 2 years' time, when that person has an inquiry because they've done something wrong, and it's themselves that got them in the trouble, isn't it? I suppose it's that added value that we can give to say, no, you probably shouldn't put your flat screen TV or your holiday to Dubai through the accounts, even though you probably could.
So it's like preventing rather than curing, right? When you're like a crossroad, it's like insurance. I can get private medical insurance to prevent having to queue in a hospital for 7 months. If I have private medical insurance, then I can fast track private medical hospital. And with you, it feels the same way. Like I am preventing to fall into a situation where it's a mess. I risk to lose something or pay a fine and pay more than what I would have paid if I've done things right. But most important for somebody like, I run multiple things. That peace of mind that I'm going to bed and I know it's like for me, like I envision now I'm going to bed. My bookkeeping is done right. My VAT returns have been done right. HMRC is not coming to knock on my door at night. That's kind of priceless. I don't know, but there is a flat fee for it. But you get what I mean is the whole scenario where you know you're in good hands. And equally, we spoke about this, like you advised me what's best to do in this scenario, that scenario, with the festival, with the wine business. At the end of the year, I couldn't have the slightest idea about it from the get-go. And you could have been like, don't worry, pay us X, we'll cover it. No, you explained it to me. That's the biggest difference. And I think people need to understand Walton Accountancy is not here to rip you off.
And it comes back to our original ethos, doesn't it? Of we like to partner with businesses. So if we make your life easier, it makes everyone's life easier.
Yeah. I think one part of an accountant, which is hugely undervalued, or maybe even completely missed, is that it's not just the compliance of your bookkeeping is done and your VAT returns are done, but we have built, over my 12 years, I've built relationships with clients in the exact same industry as you. We've got 3 other festival clients.
Yeah.
So we've got a wealth of knowledge and experience from clients that we work really closely with, that you should, and we will give you that information. You should be tapping into that knowledge that we've got, because you can't get that anywhere else.
And let's not forget one thing. We came into each other's path because of another accountant that referred you to me.
Yeah, how funny.
Which is incredible. It's unheard of. So these guys were, no, we can't cope with the, documentary, with the marketing, with this and that. But we know somebody which will be perfect for you. And I was like, well, you referring me to one of your
competitors? It's a nice accolade, that one, isn't it? Yeah.
And all of a sudden I was like, what the fuck is going on? Am I missing something here? And the fact that they referred you with that ease, for me, was already a foot in the door. It was already, these guys must be good. They must be doing something right. If one of their competitors is just like, you're going to love them. And I do.
Yeah, I appreciate that. No, what's interesting as well, you do get to know the other accountants around the local area, and the accountant that recommended us. We've never ever had a client come to us from them, and a client of ours has never gone.
No way.
Yeah, so they're also doing something right.
Of course.
It's nice to have that accolade, isn't it? But we know a few local accountants who we seem to be soaking up quite a lot of their client base, don't we? Because of the lack of service or the high fees, whatever it might be. But yeah, they're not one of them, are they?
No, not at all. And it is, to me, it was gobsmacking. It was just like, wow, I've never seen that happen before. I love it because I'm all about, there's enough business for everybody. We can help each other rather than try and trip each other on the way. And it just felt right. It felt the right path for me. Then I met you guys. We instantly clicked as people before the rest of it. And for me, that's another important part. If you can relate, joking about it a minute ago, like, you talk to your accountants like this. I talk to everybody the same way, I don't have a filter where like, even if I'm talking to King Charles tomorrow, I'm not going to be like, don't mind, what up, Charlie, you're good, son, I'm always the same, so to have that type of ease of talking and be able to have a human relationship with someone,
isn't it?
Yeah. So good. We Joe Banana Joe, which is here for people that don't know, it's just here in the background. Instantly, I was like, hey, I've seen what you're doing. You're doing great work. I love your journey. Talk to me, what we can do. And it spoke with me on a human level. We instantly clicked. And for me, that makes all of this so much easier. It's so much easier. When I think like, oh, I'm going to go see Ben and Tom, it's a pleasure. It's not like, yeah. Do you know what I mean? But think about it. You must have client. I got client. You must have got people that you're like, oh, this is going to be a pain in the ass. How easy is when you just click with somebody?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Makes the whole process simple.
Well, we first sort of engage in services over dinner and wine. First 2 hours, we spoke about accountancy or
probably,
business.
Probably the last 10 minutes we spoke about.
Hang on, we're actually here for something.
Yeah, there was something we were meant to talk about.
Yeah.
It makes it so much easier to actually get on and laugh, doesn't it?
And it's like that relationship that you just build with business owners as well, isn't it? It's like you get to know them on a personal level, get to know their plans, what they want to do, and you just feels that you can provide such a much better service to them.
Yeah, that's true. And then let's talk about that, because obviously you are based in Portsmouth. Festival is Highcliffe Castle, which is the border between Bournemouth, Dorset and Hampshire. Why choosing to sponsor us and become one of our main sponsors?
From that initial meeting, we both walked away and we were like, this is brilliant. Like we even you mentioned it when we were sat there at dinner. Your mind just runs at 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And I think we could both kind of see like ourselves in that as well. And like seeing the festival and seeing what plans you have with the festival.
Yeah.
We just wanted to be behind that, didn't we?
Yeah, we've got quite big plans to grow the business, still keeping the humble beginnings and the family sort of at the core of our business.
Yeah.
But I want to grow. I want it to be more than just referrals from friends and family. So doing something like this out of our comfort zone, I love change. I love being out of my comfort and doing something different and learning and trying to keep up. I love that. That keeps me sort of motivated. So when we met with you and you said, yes, there's this opportunity to sort of co-partner, we jumped at the opportunity, something a bit different, and trying it. What's the worst that can happen? And it's
what's going to happen? You're getting drunk at the festival. It's not the worst.
That's not bad.
That's a good option to have the festival. But yeah, for me, it's like I have this. Obviously, with my ADHD, I jump left, right, and center. I'm not good at writing things down or making structure. I have that big vision in my head, and I need people like you guys to make that vision reality in the most obviously sustainable way, in the most professional way. And I don't think you understand quite the help that you've gave me just from an accountancy point of view, but also as a relationship point of view. I got somebody I can count on. Makes my life a lot better.
I really appreciate that.
We also have big plans for the festival. I mean, the festival, as you can see now, is becoming quite big.
Building momentum, isn't it? It really is.
It's definitely snowballed, isn't it?
Crazy. It's just, and like you said, like 7 years you go from one office to the other office to a bigger office, and then you're like, God, we need 3 of them.
But we started small in a shed. You started in a castle, so you've done a bit.
It's already one up there.
You've done it a bit different.
But again, it's also like we could have gone way bigger in terms of I want to do this, I want to do that. But you've got to be realistic in it's the first festival. We need to learn our trade. We need to learn what can go wrong. And next year we add a little bit, and then a bit more. And the beauty of this is that nobody's ever done it before. Do you know? So you literally got a whiteboard, blank, and you're like, I'm gonna write the script. So to wrap it up, Walton Accountancy, Portsmouth. Your family-friendly accountants, we can call it.
Yeah, that sounds good.
If you're ever on the fence whether you should have an accountant or not, get the doubt out of your mind. Speak with these guys. They will take you to a safe place in the most comfortable way possible, in the right way, as it should be. And if you want to speak to them, they're going to be at Dorset White Festival, 5th and 6th of October at Highcliff Castle. So cheers, thanks for having me here.
Cheers for coming.
Cheers for the wine. More than welcome.
Thanks for coping with me as well. Appreciate that. See you next time.
Cheers.
Oh my days, look at that! I don't think I need to do anything else to prove my skills. We can close it here. I think that this is a good ending of